Well, everyone, it's time for us to talk about the Apple Watch Series 7 and see if this Apple Watch is still worth picking up or if you should probably wait until the Series 8. I will always tell you, if you end up waiting, you can probably get in a situation where you can get a better Apple Watch, but then you're just always going to be waiting because then you're going to wait for the Series 9, Series 10. So there's never really a perfect time to buy an Apple Watch, but there's always a better time than not. And since we're so close to the next iteration of Apple Watches, if you can wait out, if there's any reason why you can wait out at all, I'd probably recommend waiting for the Series 8. But Apple Watches are great investments. They'll last for quite a bit of time. And even when they're done getting watchOS support, you can still rock them. They're still super easy to carry around and everything like that. Now, if you want to pick up an Apple Watch, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there. You can help support the channel at the same time. Now, with the Apple Watch Series 7, it's been out for about 10 months or so. And one thing that I've been stating since even the iteration of this Apple Watch was that the screen of this thing is really one of its biggest differentiating factors. Other than the display, to be honest, this wasn't really a humongous performance increase from the previous generation. They didn't really do anything crazy with the body. They didn't really bring anything that the other watches didn't have. They brought some cool things here and there, like I'll mention. But for the most part, if you have like an Apple Watch Series 6 or Series 5, or if you have the opportunity of buying those Apple Watches for a cheaper price tag, I would probably recommend going that route if you prefer. But if not, this one's great too. The GPS model of this thing costs $399. The higher end model costs $499 as well. So kind of keep that in mind too. Now, this thing came out in two different screen sizes. It came out in a smaller 41mm size, then a higher end 45mm size. Now, these two screen sizes, again, I don't think it's a massive difference, but I do prefer that bigger size display rather than that smaller size in my opinion. Now, the display on this thing is an always on Retina display, so it's about 20%, this is what Apple says, it's about 20% bigger or more screen area than the Apple Watch SE, and they say it's over 50% more screen area than the Series 3. So if you're coming from a very old Apple Watch like a Series 2, Series 1, Series 0, Series 3, you're going to be getting a really solid performance increase, but a really big body increase as well, going to these specific watches. And one thing you always have to remember is that the watch bands that you had for a Series 3 or your first Apple Watch ever will also work on these Apple Watches as well. So that's one thing I love about Apple. They may switch it up in the future, but at least, for the time being, if you own any of those Apple Watches, those bands are going to stay consistent there, which is really cool. Now on the bottom, there really isn't anything different, just the same charging block that you can put your Apple Watch on and move on with. You have the power button, you have the side scroll, little wheel thing as well, which is really nice to kind of mess around with every once in a while. And that's kind of it. There's really not anything else going on the outside. Now this thing is still 50-meter water resistance and swim proof, so that's really cool. But this is where we start getting into some of the bigger area and bigger differentiating factors between the Apple Watch Series 7 and some of the older Apple Watches. This thing does have give you the ability of checking out your blood oxygen levels. So that's a really big thing if some of you are into it. There's a built-in ECG functionality as well. So you can go ahead and get a little bit more, information about your body that way. You have the high and low heart rate notifications as well, which can be massive for a lot of people. If you have any irregular heart rhythm notifications, those will be sent out to you as well. You have fall detection here, a built-in compass, and always on altimeter. You have cell connection capability here too, and it does support faster charge. You can get up to 33% faster charging than other types of Apple Watches or other types of devices too. So those are some of the main takeaway and main cool features that kind of stand out in this specific Apple Watch. But like I mentioned, if you have an Apple Watch Series 6, you're kind of already getting a lot of these features as well. There's a few key features with this one, but I do think if you're looking at a Series 7 and you're looking at a Series 6, the biggest takeaway is probably going to be that display. Maybe a few other features here and there, maybe it's durability here and there as well, but the display is the big thing. And honestly, if you don't really care about the display too much, get a Series 6, that's probably the best thing I can tell you. Now, another thing I want to state is that with the advertised battery life from Apple, from the Series 3 for many, many generations now, they haven't really done anything with the battery life. I think it's gotten better over time. And I think watchOS updates have actually improved the software experience as well as the battery experience as well, which I think is huge. But for the most part, it's still kind of not that great of a battery life compared to other smartwatches as well as other improvements in other areas Apple has been doing. Yes, it's a good battery life, but they haven't really been doing any improvements there. And that's my biggest, kind of pet peeve of Apple Watches. I feel like Apple can go ahead and, by now we should be able to have an Apple Watch that lasts a week. And that's kind of one of the bigger issues with this in my opinion. So in terms of that, that kind of covers it up there. And to be completely honest, I kind of do think that this specific Apple Watch is still completely worth it, and I still think it has a ton of capability behind it. If you think about it, with the capability behind this Apple Watch, it's going to be lasting for quite a bit of time as well. So I do think with this type of Apple Watch, it's probably going to be supported for a few years now. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, and I'd probably recommend buying it for sure. So that kind of covers it up. If you have any other questions or thoughts, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.